Success isn't a stroke of luck that randomly blesses your life. It's a direct result of your own actions and the person you've become. If you're yearning for different outcomes, for a life that looks and feels different from the one you have now, the fundamental law of the universe dictates that you must first become a different person. It's a simple, unchangeable truth. You cannot have more than you currently possess until you become more than you currently are. The world just doesn't operate any other way. Think about it for a moment. Your bank account, the quality of your relationships, your physical health, and your overall happiness are all perfect mirrors, reflecting the person you are on the inside. They are the tangible results of your personal philosophy, your prevailing attitude, and the daily disciplines you either embrace or neglect. So many of us fall into the trap of wanting to see our circumstances change without being willing to change ourselves. That's like a farmer expecting a bountiful harvest of wheat after planting corn seeds day after day. It's an exercise in futility. If you plant corn, you will undoubtedly get corn. If you sow weeds, a field of weeds is what you'll reap. And if you consistently plant the seeds of excuses, limiting beliefs, and a lack of discipline, the only harvest you can expect is a life of mediocrity and profound disappointment. But here's the incredibly empowering and exciting news. You hold the power to change the seeds you plant, and you can start this very moment. The first crucial step in this transformative journey of rebuilding yourself for success is to deeply and truly understand that you are precisely where you are in life because of the person you have been up until now. Now, I know that can be a tough pill for some to swallow. It's often easier to point fingers at the economy, a difficult boss, a less than supportive spouse, your parents, or your circumstances. We can all find a scapegoat if we look hard enough. But after decades of immersing myself in the study of success, I've come to a powerful conclusion. Your circumstances don't determine your future. Your response to your circumstances is what shapes your destiny. Two people can be confronted with the exact same challenge. One will use it as a convenient excuse for failure, while the other will leverage it as a stepping stone to greatness. The difference isn't the situation. The difference is the individual. I can vividly recall a time in my own life when I was broke, struggling, and living in a tiny one-bedroom apartment, consumed with worry about how I was going to make rent. I had a whole library of excuses at my disposal. The economy was in a downturn, I didn't have the right connections, my education was lacking, and I certainly didn't have the capital to start a business. My world was a landscape of limitations. Then I had a faltering encounter with my mentor. He said something to me so simple, yet so profound, that it shattered my old way of thinking and set me on a new course. He looked at me and said, "Jim, if you want things to change, you have to change. If you want things to get better, you have to get better. If you want to earn more, you have to become more valuable." That was the wake-up call I so desperately needed. In that moment, I realized I had been focusing all my energy on the wrong things. Instead of trying to manipulate my external circumstances, I needed to get to work on transforming myself. Instead of wishing for an easier path, I needed to forge myself into a stronger person. Instead of hoping for fewer problems, I needed to diligently develop the skills to handle whatever challenges came my way. And that is when everything in my life began to turn around. The process of rebuilding yourself begins with the very foundation of your being, your philosophy. This is your unique way of thinking about life, about success, about yourself, and about the people around you. Your philosophy is akin to the foundation of a magnificent house. If that foundation is weak, cracked, and unstable, it doesn't matter how beautiful the exterior of the house appears, it will inevitably crumble. In the same way, if your personal philosophy is flawed, If it's built upon limiting beliefs, a victim mentality, or misguided concepts, then no matter how hard you toil, you will never achieve lasting, meaningful success. Let me give you a concrete example of how a simple shift in philosophy can dramatically alter your results. Many people operate from the philosophy that says, "I'll believe it when I see it." This mindset keeps them in a perpetual state of waiting for external validation before they'll take any action. But successful people have a completely different philosophy. They live by the creed, "I'll see it when I believe it." Do you see the profound difference? One philosophy makes you a passive observer, a victim of your circumstances, waiting for proof to appear. The other empowers you as a creator, recognizing that unwavering belief and faith are the precursors to manifestation. Your philosophy is the wellspring from which your attitude flows. Your attitude, in turn, dictates your actions, and your actions are what produce your results. So, if you are serious about changing your results, you must have the courage to start by examining and upgrading your core philosophy. Ask yourself some tough questions. What do you truly believe about money? What are your deepest convictions about success? What do you believe is possible for you? What is your perspective on opportunity? How do you view hard work, learning, and the lifelong journey of personal development? Most of us inherit our initial philosophy from our environment, our family, our friends, our culture. But here's a critical piece of understanding you must embrace. Just because you inherited a philosophy doesn't mean you have to keep it. You have the power to consciously and deliberately choose a new one. You can adopt the thinking patterns of the most successful people in the world. You can cultivate empowering beliefs about yourself and the incredible future that awaits you. But it all starts with a conscious choice. The second essential component in rebuilding yourself is the cultivation of personal discipline. Discipline is the sturdy bridge that connects your thoughts to your accomplishments, your inspiration to your achievements, and your aspirations to your productivity. Without discipline, all the good intentions in the world are utterly useless. You can possess the most enlightened philosophy, the most positive attitude, and the most ambitious goals, but without the unwavering discipline to take consistent daily action, you will remain hopelessly stuck. Discipline isn't about punishment. It's not about depriving yourself or making your life unnecessarily difficult. True discipline is about making conscious choices that align with your long-term goals rather than surrendering to your short-term impulses. It's about doing what you know you should do, even when you don't feel like doing it. It's about the profound integrity of keeping the promises you make to yourself. Most people are undisciplined in the small, seemingly insignificant things, and then they wonder why they can't achieve their grand ambitions. They can't bring themselves to wake up just 30 minutes earlier, yet they dream of doubling their income. They can't commit to reading 10 pages of a good book each day, but they aspire to become an expert in their field. They can't manage to save a mere $10 a week, yet they fantasize about becoming wealthy. Success simply doesn't work that way. It is built upon a solid foundation of small, consistent disciplines that are practiced with unwavering dedication, day in and day out. I learned this lesson the hard way. During my struggling years, I was filled with big dreams but had zero discipline. I would get incredibly excited about a new opportunity, work tirelessly for a few days or even a couple of weeks, and then, inevitably, my momentum would fizzle out and I would give up. I was like a person who enthusiastically starts a new diet on Monday only to quit by Wednesday. My life was a story of good intentions with no follow-through. It wasn't until I committed to developing daily disciplines that the trajectory of my life began to change. Let me illustrate the incredible power of daily discipline. If you were to read just 10 pages of a good book every single day in 1 year, you would have read 650 pages. That's the equivalent of roughly 10 to 15 substantial books, depending on their size. Can you even begin to imagine the wealth of knowledge you would gain, the wisdom you would accumulate, and the person you would become by immersing yourself in 10 to 15 life-changing books in a single year? And it all starts with the simple discipline of reading just 10 pages a day. This same powerful principle applies to every single area of your life. If you exercise for just 30 minutes a day in a year, you'll have exercised for a staggering 182.5 hours. That's more than 4 full weeks of dedicated exercise. If you save just $5 a day in a year, you'll have saved $1,825. In 10 years, with the magic of compound interest, that could grow into a very significant sum. Small, consistent disciplines, when practiced over time, produce monumental results. But here's the equally important and sobering flip side. The same small errors in judgment, repeated daily, can lead to absolute disaster. If you spend just $5 more than you earn every day in a year, you'll find yourself $1,825 deeper in debt. If you consume just 100 extra calories a day in a year, you'll have gained 10 pounds. If you choose to watch an extra hour of mindless television instead of reading or learning, you will inevitably fall behind instead of getting ahead. The third vital element in the process of rebuilding yourself is a commitment to continuous learning. In our rapidly changing world, the knowledge and skills that got you to where you are today will not be sufficient to get you to where you want to go tomorrow. The skills that brought you to your current level of success won't necessarily be the ones that propel you to the next level. You must be in a constant state of learning, growing, and adapting. You must become a dedicated student of success, a student of your industry, a student of human nature, and a student of life itself. As the saying goes, formal education will make you a living, but self-education will make you a fortune. Now, don't misunderstand me. A formal education is incredibly important. It provides you with the foundational basics. But your real, meaningful education begins the moment you leave the classroom. That's when you start learning from the raw, unfiltered lessons of experience, from the wisdom contained in books, from the guidance of mentors, from observing successful people, and from your own mistakes and successes. The person you will become 5 years from now will be largely determined by 2 primary influences: the books you read and the people you associate with. These 2 factors will profoundly shape your thinking, your philosophy, your attitudes, and, ultimately, your destiny. Choose them with the utmost care and wisdom. Read books that challenge your assumptions, inspire you to dream bigger, and teach you valuable skills. Associate with people who are going somewhere in life, people who hold themselves to a higher standard, people who will challenge you to become the very best version of yourself. I remember when I first embarked on my journey of learning about success, I was astonished at the vastness of my own ignorance. I thought I knew a lot, but the more I learned, the more I realized how little I actually knew. It was then that I developed what I call intellectual humility, the deep recognition that there is always more to learn, always room for improvement, and always opportunities to grow. One of the most powerful investments you can ever make is in your own personal development. Spend money on books, seminars, courses, and coaching. Anything that will help you become more valuable in the marketplace. It's a sad reality that most people spend more money on their car than they do on their mind. They'll drop $30,000 on a car that depreciates in value, but won't invest $300 in a personal development seminar that could change their life forever. This is completely backward thinking. Your car simply gets you from one physical location to another, but your mind has the power to take you from where you are to wherever you want to go in life. The fourth crucial component in rebuilding yourself is the art and science of goal setting. Goals are like powerful magnets. They attract the very things that will make them a reality. Without clear, defined goals, you're like a ship without a rudder, aimlessly drifting wherever the currents of life may take you. With clear, specific and compelling goals, you have a sense of direction, a deep purpose, and an unwavering focus. You know exactly where you're going and, more importantly, why you're going there. But here's a secret about goals that most people never understand. The real, lasting value of setting goals is not in their ultimate achievement. It's in the person you become in the process of striving to achieve them. The person who achieves a goal is far less important than the person who becomes capable of achieving that goal. It's who you become, not what you get, that is the true reward of goal achievement. When you set a goal that is bigger than your current self, it forces you to grow. It compels you to develop new skills, cultivate new habits, and adopt new ways of thinking. It demands that you become more disciplined, more focused, and more determined. The goal itself is just the external target. The real treasure is the person you become in the relentless pursuit of that goal. Your goals must be specific, measurable, and, most importantly, written down. A goal that isn't written down is nothing more than a fleeting wish. The act of writing down your goals does something incredibly powerful. It moves them from the realm of fantasy into the realm of tangible possibility. When you put a goal in writing, you are making a solemn commitment to yourself. You are declaring, "This is important enough to me to codify it in ink." Your goals should both excite you and scare you a little at the same time. If your goals don't intimidate you, they're probably too small. If they don't fill you with a sense of excitement and anticipation, they're not meaningful enough to you. Find that delicate balance between challenging yourself and being realistic. Set goals that will stretch you to your limits but not break you. The fifth essential element in rebuilding yourself is the cultivation of better relationships. Success is not a solo expedition. You need a network of people in your life. Mentors, peers, supporters, and team members. The quality of your relationships will, to a large extent, determine the quality of your life and the level of your success. Show me someone who has achieved significant, lasting success, and I will show you someone who has masterfully built strong, positive, and mutually beneficial relationships with others. But here's the golden key to building better relationships. You must first become the kind of person that other people want to have a relationship with. If you want to attract successful, dynamic people into your life, you must first become a successful and dynamic person yourself. If you desire loyal and trustworthy friends, you must first be a loyal and trustworthy friend. If you want to be surrounded by honest and genuine people, you must first be an honest and genuine person. If you wish to have generous and giving people in your life, you must first be a generous and giving person. Most people have this completely backward. They want everyone else to change while they remain stubbornly the same. They want others to be more supportive and encouraging, while they continue to be critical and negative. That's simply not how healthy, thriving relationships work. Relationships are built on a foundation of mutual value exchange. What value are you bringing to the relationship? What are you giving, not just what are you hoping to get? One of the most important and transformative relationships you can ever develop is with a mentor. Someone who has already achieved what you aspire to achieve, someone who can guide you, teach you, and help you avoid costly and time-consuming mistakes. A great mentor can compress decades of learning into a matter of years or even months. They can help you see possibilities you never imagined and warn you about pitfalls you never saw coming. But finding a mentor is only half the equation. You must also strive to become a good student. Be coachable, be teachable, and be genuinely willing to listen and learn. Come to your mentor prepared with specific, thoughtful questions. Take copious notes and, most importantly, apply what you learn. Show the utmost respect for your mentor's time and the wisdom they are sharing with you. Remember, a mentor doesn't owe you anything. They are sharing their hard-won knowledge and experience as a precious gift. Treat it as such. The sixth critical component in rebuilding yourself is taking impeccable care of your health and energy. Your body is the magnificent vehicle that carries you toward your goals. If you neglect to take care of your body, it will surely fail to take care of you. Success demands an abundance of energy, vitality, and stamina. You simply cannot perform at your highest level if you are constantly feeling tired, sick, and run down. This means paying close attention to the fuel you put into your body, the amount of physical activity you engage in, the quality of your sleep, and how you manage the inevitable stresses of life. It means treating your body like the invaluable asset that it is, not like a convenient garbage disposal. What you put into your body directly affects your energy level, your mental clarity, your emotional state, and your overall ability to perform at your peak. Exercise is not just about looking good, although that is certainly a pleasant side effect. Exercise is about feeling good, having boundless energy, thinking with clarity, and building the discipline and mental toughness that are absolute prerequisites for success. When you exercise regularly, you're not just building physical strength, you're forging character. You're proving to yourself that you can do difficult things, that you can keep the commitments you make to yourself, and that you can push through discomfort to achieve a worthy goal. Sleep is another critical component that is tragically neglected by most people. You cannot cheat sleep without eventually paying a steep price. When you are sleep deprived, your judgment suffers, your creativity diminishes, your patience wears thin, and your ability to handle stress plummets. Success requires you to be at your absolute best, and you simply cannot be at your best if you are in a constant state of exhaustion. Stress management is equally important. A certain amount of stress can be beneficial. It can motivate you and keep you sharp. But chronic, unmanaged stress will wreak havoc on your health, your relationships, and your performance. Learn to effectively manage stress through healthy outlets like exercise, meditation, proper nutrition, adequate sleep, and maintaining a healthy perspective. Remember, the vast majority of things you worry about will never come to pass, and the things that do happen are rarely as catastrophic as you imagined they would be. The seventh and final component in this transformative process of rebuilding yourself is the development of a success mindset. Your mindset is your prevailing mental attitude, your ingrained way of thinking about challenges, opportunities, failures, and successes. It is the powerful lens through which you view the world and interpret your experiences. A success mindset is characterized by an unwavering sense of optimism, a deep well of resilience, a commitment to growth, and a radical sense of personal responsibility. People with a success mindset see challenges not as roadblocks, but as opportunities to learn and grow. They view failures not as a final verdict on their abilities, but as valuable feedback. They take complete ownership of their results instead of casting blame on others or making excuses. They find s-lissus and ollu genu in tions tense to under of stdwealnld ing on problems. They ask themselves, how can I? Instead of resigning themselves to, I can't. One of the most crucial aspects of a success mindset is the profound understanding that failure is not the opposite of success. It is an integral part of the journey to success. Every single successful person you can name has failed, often many times. The key difference is that they didn't allow their failures to define them or to stop them in their tracks. They learned from each failure, adjusted their approach, and kept moving forward with renewed determination. I have failed more times than most people have even tried. I've had businesses fail, investments turn sour, relationships end in heartbreak, and dreams shattered into a million pieces. But each failure taught me something invaluable. Each setback provided me with crucial information that helped me make better decisions in the future. Each disappointment built my resilience and strengthened my character. The key is to fail forward, to learn from your failures and use them as stepping stones to your eventual success. Don't let failure discourage you, let it educate you. Don't let setbacks stop you, let them redirect you. Don't let disappointments defeat you, let them develop you. Another critical aspect of a success mindset is a deep understanding of the incredible power of persistence. Success is rarely about being the smartest person in the room or having the most innate talent. More often than not, success is about outlasting your competition, about continuing to push forward when others have quit, and about getting up one more time than you fall down. Most people give up far too soon. They try something for a few weeks or a few months, and when they don't see immediate results, they throw in the towel. But success takes time. It takes an abundance of patience. It takes the willingness to put in the work even when you don't see immediate rewards, to invest in yourself when you don't see an immediate return, and to keep going when you don't see immediate progress. I learned this powerful lesson when I was building my first successful business. For the first full year, I worked incredibly hard, but saw very little tangible progress. I was tempted to quit on numerous occasions, but my mentor shared something with me that kept me going. He said, "Jim, success is like growing bamboo. You can water bamboo for years and see no visible growth above ground. But all that time, an intricate and powerful root system is developing underground. Then, in a single season, the bamboo can shoot up 90 feet. Don't give up during the root growing phase." And that is precisely what happened with my business. For what felt like an eternity, I was laying the foundation, developing my skills, making crucial connections, and learning the intricacies of the business. Then, seemingly overnight, everything came together and success followed. But it wasn't an overnight success. It was the result of consistent, unwavering effort over a long period of time. As you embark on this incredible journey of rebuilding yourself for success, remember that this is not a final destination. It is a lifelong process. You never truly arrive at a place where you can afford to stop growing, stop learning, and stop improving. The moment you think you've made it, the moment you allow yourself to become complacent, is the very moment you begin to decline. Success is not a mountain you climb once and then admire from the summit. It is a mountain you must choose to climb every single day. It's not something you achieve and then forget about. It's something you must continuously work at. The disciplines that create success must be practiced daily, not just when you feel like it or when it's convenient. But here is the truly beautiful thing about this process of rebuilding yourself for success. Every single day, you have a brand new opportunity to become a better version of the person you were yesterday. Every day, you can make choices that move you closer to your most cherished goals. Every day, you can learn something new, develop a better habit, strengthen a relationship, or take a courageous action toward your dreams. The person you are today is the cumulative result of all the choices you have made up to this very moment. The person you will become in the future will be the result of all the choices you make from this point forward. You have the incredible power to choose who you become. You have the power to rebuild yourself for success. Don't wait for the perfect time to start. Don't wait until you have all the answers or all the resources. Don't wait until you feel ready. The time to start rebuilding yourself is right now, in this very moment. Success doesn't wait for anyone, and neither should you. Start with small, manageable steps. Choose one area of your life to focus on first. Maybe it's your health. Commit to exercising for just 30 minutes a day. Maybe it's your education. Commit to reading for an hour each day. Maybe it's your finances. Commit to saving a specific amount of money each month. Maybe it's your relationships. Commit to being a more positive and encouraging force in the lives of others. Whatever you choose, make it specific, make it measurable, and make it a daily practice. Remember, success is built upon the solid foundation of daily disciplines. Small, consistent improvements made over time will produce extraordinary and astonishing results. As you begin this journey of rebuilding yourself, you will undoubtedly face obstacles. You will have days when you feel completely unmotivated. You will experience setbacks and disappointments. That is all a normal and expected part of the process. The key is to keep going anyway. Motivation is what gets you started, but discipline is what keeps you going. Surround yourself with people who will support your growth and your ambitions. Distance yourself from those who try to discourage you or hold you back. Read books that inspire and educate you. Listen to programs that motivate and challenge you. Attend seminars and workshops that stretch your thinking and expand your horizons. Invest in your personal development as if your very life depends on it, because in a very real sense it does. Remember, you don't have to be great to get started, but you have to get started to be great. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single, courageous step. Take that step today. Make the decision today to begin the process of rebuilding yourself for success. Your future self will thank you for the decision you make right now. Success is not reserved for a chosen few. It is available to anyone who is willing to pay the price, to do the hard work, to make the necessary changes, and to rebuild themselves into the person they need to become to achieve their wildest dreams. That person can be you. That person will be you if you make the decision right now to begin. The time for excuses is over. The time for waiting is over. The time for hoping that things will magically change is over. The time for action is now. The time to rebuild yourself for success is now. Your future is waiting for you to create it. What are you waiting for?